Hey, welcome to my channel. It's Nathan Ninja Monkey, and I just heard some news, some crazy news about Trainer Tips and Mystic7. Their channels that have like literally gone, and I'm like trying to figure out what's going on here. But obviously, there's been some kind of mistake because in terms of like family-friendly content, they are very family-friendly. So I don't know what's gone on. What's gone on? So there's been a few tweets that have just come out recently in the last like hour or something like that. Basically, the channels have been deleted, and I know that YouTube sometimes they do make mistakes. But what on earth is going on here? I mean, for those of you who do play Pokemon Go, they're like Mystic7. So, hey. So, yeah, so basically, the tweet 3 hours ago was waking up to find out that my channel has been terminated for violating guidelines and no information beyond that from Team YouTube. Would be great if someone could tell me what the family friendly channel did wrong. So, you know, come on, like trainer tips before, then you know that his content is incredibly family friendly. I don't know what's happened, Zyle, I have no idea. But basically, their channels have gone. A channel with, I think, 700 or 800,000 subscribers, and Mystic7 with a channel of over a million, maybe 2 million subscribers, or nearly 2 million subscribers. It's just very fishy. So I think that what we should be doing right now is retweeting those tweets that they've basically put on Twitter. So Nick said, waking up to find out terminated for guidelines and no information beyond that from Team YouTube. Would be great if somebody could tell me what the family-friendly Pokemon channel did wrong. Totally. I mean, I've heard of these things. I've heard of people, claiming this is different. This is a channel has been terminated. Something big has happened here. I don't know what on earth has happened here, but any theories really. So just a little update for those of you have mistakes do happen. Do I think it's bots? You know what? There's two theories I have here. The first one is um, that they've been hacked. That they've been hacked somehow. I'm holding this on my phone because I really wanted to do like a quick live stream. But yeah, I think there's two things that could have happened here. But here it specifically says for terminating. It's been terminated for violating guidelines and no information beyond that from. Hello. Basically, hey Michael. This is the Pokemon stream, and I know how you feel about Pokemon, Michael. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what's going on with my connection here, but basically, it's true. What's so if anything was to happen to my channel, I'd have like nothing would be done about it. I'm sure that this is going to be sorted because, after all, they are sorted. Reversal has the same content, and nothing has happened to him. Exactly. This sounds incredibly strange. Theories that I have, like you've said, bots. Perhaps some bots. I mean, their channels might have been hacked, maybe. Or the most logical one is that there's been some kind like content on the video, or if there was a video that they both did together or something. So, continuing with basically with what Twitter said. Ridiculous. I'm gonna read out what Mystic7, and I do worry a little bit about Mystic7. He's been very vocal about his mental health and stuff like that. He's taken breaks in the past, and I don't know if this is going to be something. I don't think he should be stressing too much about it, but no, I think that the pressures of YouTube, of basically having can be very, very, very stressful. I'm just Mystic7 has this to say. He says, so my channel just went down for community guideline strikes for sexual content. You're into Pokemon or something? I mean, I guess he's sort of had a little bit of a fun time. And then he says, I've loved my time on YouTube, but it's shit like this that makes me so excited for strikes, BS, copyright claims. This is people's livelihood, and it's so true, you know, because like I said before, my channel is tiny. I don't really make any money out of my channel, but these people, they basically, you know, they rely on this. And can you imagine if all of a sudden you wake up and your revenue just disappears and dies? So YouTube actually did reply to this for you. We'll be back as soon as we have an update from our policy team that have been. This is not the first time this has happened. This happens, unfortunately. The way that it works, my understanding is you can. This I don't know if this is a copyright claim or if this is more like the normally works is somebody can claim copyright for, you know, somebody can actually claim your video, the content on your video is theirs, and they get the final say whether or not um if you actually file a dispute, they actually or theirs, which is absolutely crazy. There's no middleman. Nothing is done, as far as I'm aware. You know, all these companies that basically claim people's content. Nothing is done to them. The copyright claim. You know, basically he tried to fight it, and then he was claimed again a second time. He got a strike him to finally get his channel back, and by that time he kind of like he gave up on YouTube. So crazy stuff going on here. My recommendation, guys, is if you do want to support them, is just retweet them, because I just like very vaguely met trainer tips in Germany, and you know, very for a very short time. You can see it in one of my videos, in the Dortmund video, and you know, he was a really down to earth, really cool guy, and nobody deserves this. You know, you work, and you can tell that both trainer tips, Nick, and Mystic7, they're very hard to tell that they really put a lot of thought into what they want to do, with the content that they create is good. I mean, trainer tips videos are always really a way to produce some incredibly good content. And here we are now, basically the algorithms have decided that they don't like something. I mean, I understand that these things happen, but when this didn't happen for our friend in the suicide forest, do you have a conspiracy like theory? Do you think something crazy is going on? I don't know. I don't. It's more of a than bots. Like some people in the chat have been saying that maybe there are some kind of bots. Maybe they could have been hacked if they've been hacked. But I just want to say that we need to really support them. Retweet. We need to tweet at YouTube, message YouTube, etc. Because is enough, you know. I think there's a lot of people, and I'm just like I said, my channel is tiny, but there's a lot of people out there that put a lot of work. I mean, including myself. My channel might be small, but I put a lot. Sudden somebody, you know, the YouTube's algorithm decided that they didn't like something in my content mistake and decided to take my channel down as a result is absolutely, you know, insane. What are your thoughts, guys? You know, and as for, we're talking about big channels here, you know, like Mystic7 has like I think maybe 2 million, over 1 million subscribers anyway, and like I said before, training tips, you know, close to the million mark now. So they don't deserve this kind of thing, this kind of treatment. And I hope that it's sorted out pretty soon, because I mean, who are we gonna watch? I don't have the time to um to sit down and do all the research like trainer tips and make videos like that. I've got a job to get on with. I make videos for fun. Travel to Japan a lot. I travel around Europe, and I do play Pokemon here and there in some of my videos, but not all the time. My channel is definitely not a Pokemon channel. It's more of a travel channel with a little bit of Pokemon on the side. Going on. Any ideas? Let's see if there's anything else on Twitter. So live stream, and so Mystic7. These are the top tweets. If I search for Mystic7, top tweets say the following. Latest. Okay. Um, and okay. For example, people are saying that maybe they are bots. I don't know. One massive glitch. People are calling this like a glitch. This whole strike system and the way it's being handled is ridiculous. Anyone can screw anyone, and it's totally true. Like this case where there should be a middleman. I mean, the YouTube, Google has enough money to have some kind of a middleman. I understand that they have millions. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of blame. Here it's apparent. For example, here somebody's Chris Chikijonil says it's apparent people at YouTube have no clue what they're doing. I think, you know, I think they've just got so big that it's very difficult for them to control, and the systems that they have in place are obviously not working. I think this is like the extremely as this. We're talking about two Pokemon YouTubers that have basically disappeared at the same time, more or less. It's quite crazy, really. And let's see some other tweets going on here. This is incredibly frustrating and unfair, and I'm very sorry this happened to you guys. I hope this gets cleared up fast, and I do. I hope this gets cleared up too. Some other people, I keep telling myself I won't be surprised the next time Team YouTube something up. But this training tips and Mystic7 catastrophe is actually next level unheard of. And it's true. Pokemon content, there are quite a few million people out there that do play Pokemon Go, and in terms of like content creators, I think then and trainer tips are the top two. And all of a sudden, what have they done? They've deleted their channels at, I don't know what time it is where you live, but it's nearly 9 p.m. This is the time that people are sort of finishing YouTube and trying to check out what's going on. And hey, there's nothing for them to watch. They're gonna think that something's wrong. So, what do you think? Do you think this has been a mistake, a YouTube mistake, or do you think this has been a something has actually come out in the video that they deserve this? I don't, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt this could happen. Some other YouTubers and some other people can support them both. What you did to Mystic7. What's going on here? My question. My question is, has this happened to any other channels? Do you guys know if this has happened to any other channels? Or is it just theirs? Has it happened to any other like Pokemon channels? Has it happened to any other just random channels that are not Pokemon related? Or is it just a Pokemon thing? So hey, how are you doing there? In Hawaii, yeah? Yeah, so a little bit of a chat here about Pokemon. For those of you just tuning in, okay, basically what's happened is these two really big YouTubers, Trainer Tips and Mystic7. Mystic7 has over 1 million subscribers, and Trainer Tips is close to probably 800,000 or more subscribers. And they've just tweeted out that their channels have gone down. They've been basically not, the word isn't deleted, but they've just been like removed from YouTube. And I'm just doing a little stream here talking about what I think might have happened, how unfair like YouTube can be. Lucky for me, nothing's really happened. Although something did once happen to me, and that's basically there's these websites, and they try to basically tell you that that you can use their music copyright free. So you basically download their tracks, and it's like copyrightmusic.com, copyright free music, etc. And they basically end up you end up using their music for free for like a year or something like that. And then all of a sudden, they copyright claim your video that was supposed to be free. And obviously, you know, you don't have any contract with them and they own the content. So I've got about maybe 10 or 12 or 14 videos on my channel which have been copyright claimed by them, which means that any money made on those videos basically goes to those people, which is quite crazy. But I understand that was a mistake, and I've learned from that, and I'm not gonna do that again. So now I use Epidemic Sound. It's a paid service. I pay, I don't know, I can't remember what I pay monthly, and I can use their music, and I won't get claimed. But getting claimed, copyright claimed, can be very stressful. I mean, like I said, my channel is tiny, but imagine you basically rely on YouTube, on AdSense, etc., and then all of a sudden somebody decides to copyright claim something that you've created. I was watching a video earlier on a few days ago about somebody's voice being copyright claimed. He was basically, what was he doing? He was testing out a new microphone, and somebody decided to copyright claim that content. And unfortunately, um, there was nothing he could do. He disputed it, and the other person basically said that that was his content. And if you're not careful, when people copyright claim your stuff, you can get a strike on your channel, and after 3 strikes, your channel goes down, and there's nothing you can do about it. And something needs to change with YouTube, I think. So, what do you think? What do you guys think has happened here? Any ideas? What do you think has happened here with YouTube? Do you think it's been a mistake, or do you think it's been an error on Trainer Tips and Mystic Seven's part? Do you think that there was something dodgy, something strange, some content that shouldn't have been there? I don't think so, personally. I think the algorithm has gone completely crazy. I mean, you know, I really can't even imagine what Pokemon, like the algorithm was thinking. What on earth was the algorithm thinking? I have no idea. But if you have any suggestions, any thoughts, please do write them in the chat, because I am dying to hear and dying to see what you guys think, you know? So, yeah. So I'm on my phone because I just didn't have enough time to get my camera set up, but I am on my phone. And I'm just going to carry on reading some of the tweets. Okay, so basically, I've just read a little update here from Mystic7 Update. He says on Twitter, he says, correction, it was 2 videos, one being striked twice, WTF, could be a glitch, Article 13 issue, ooh, Article 13 issue, interesting. Loophole attack, I don't know what that means. What does loophole attack mean? Anybody have any idea? We've got people looking into it, will hopefully be updated soon. So basically, what are people saying about that? I've heard it has to do with if you have CP in the video, a bunch of Club Penguin videos are being affected as well. What the hell? What does CP stand for? Thought Article 13 was on for people in the UK. So for those of you who don't know, Article 13 is this crazy thing that Europe is, I don't know if they're going to implement it yet. I don't even know if they voted on it, but basically it's this like law, European law, that basically is going to restrict a lot of the content that content creators can put up there, and it's supposed to be like a fairer way of sharing revenue with the creators, the people that have written the songs, the people that have played instruments in the songs, the people that have published in the songs, the dancers in the videos, etc. But it's gonna have with people in Europe anyway. And there's been lots of speculation of millions of videos disappearing as a result. But we're not talking here about a video. We're talking here about a channel, two channels disappearing. We're not talking about any videos. So I don't think it's anything to do with the new copyright laws. And actually, I don't even think that copyright laws have passed in Europe yet. So, but yeah, if you guys have any ideas what's going on, please share them in the chats. So I'm just gonna carry on reading some other tweets. Um, so what does Trainer Tip had to say recently? And like I said before, I met Trainer Tips very, very briefly. He gave me a sticker. He signed the sticker and he gave it to me in Dortmund. And he's a really down-to-earth, really cool, really chill guy. I've also met Reversal, and again, very, very briefly, but Reversal was really, really ace. He was really friendly, and he seemed to be like quite a fun guy. To be honest, Mystic7 I haven't met. I have also briefly met Pokemon Holiday Master, just very, very briefly. Actually, I think I even came out in one of her videos. She was, recording, and I was there in the background at some point. But yeah, and I've met Tonton Train. For those of you who know Tonton Train, he is a creator, a Japanese creator based out of Holland. And I've been to a few of his meetup. I've been to a meetup of his. I filmed stuff. I lost all the footage, so I was really, really annoyed about that one. I've met him in the park, and yeah, he is a really cool guy actually. So I mean, we need to support one another. Like we really do need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I think it's the most important thing, the most important lesson we can take. So anything else going on? So basically, I mean, these are the words that Trainer Tips used. Channel has been terminated for violating guidelines and no information beyond that from YouTube. So I really don't know what's going on. Hey, neighbor. Basically, again, for those of you who are tuning in now, two huge content creators from YouTube, content creators, basically Trainer Tips, and Mystic7, Pokemon Go content creators on YouTube, probably with over 1 million subscribers. I think Mystic7 has over 1 million subscribers, and I know that Trainer Tips is nearing the million subscriber mark, and all of a sudden they've woken up today to basically their channels being taken down. And as I said before, this is what they had to say. Nick says, waking up to find out that my channel has been terminated for violating guidelines and no information beyond that from YouTube. It's absolutely crazy that in this day and age, you basically are at the mercy of a multinational, huge corporation like YouTube that can basically do whatever they want with you. And I'm sure that they're working very hard to fix this if it's an error. And if it hasn't been an error, then I think there needs to be more clarification and more transparency into what's going on here. Because after all, these creators, they create really good content, they work really hard, and you just can't be at the mercy of a multinational company like that. It's just not on, in my opinion. So, yeah, so that's basically what's been going on. Let's see, any more information. So I'm just gonna do a quick search on Twitter, YouTube banned. So let's see if there's any more channels that have been banned by YouTube. Trainer Tips, YouTube was banned. Yep, we know that. That's what we're talking about now. Please do chat. Google is a neurotic cop. It's so true, man. Like, I don't know, because at the same time, I have a lot of respect for such a big multinational character. Company, not character, but I'm sure there's some crazy characters in there too. But at the same time, it must be very difficult. What was that sound? It must be very difficult, basically, to have um, to try to manage so much content, and they're up against this crazy thing about, I can't remember how many videos, how many hours every second are basically, or every minute, I don't know how many hours are uploaded to YouTube. But this is not the case of a video being taken down. This is the case of a whole freaking channel, two channels being taken down on the same day, which is really, really odd. I'd understand, you know, for example, if one channel was taken down by mistake, I'd kind of think, okay, there's been a bit of a huge mistake has been done here. But we're talking about here two YouTube content channels, two Pokemon content channels, sorry, basically woken up and they're not there anymore. So I don't know what's going on. Seriously, let's see. Um, I just want to see if there's any more channels that have been banned. Do you guys know of any more channels that have been banned? Let me check. So, trainer tips said, what was the word that he said before? So people are obviously realizing, and this happened like 10 hours ago, so I'm a little bit late to the party here in Europe. But hey, YouTube channels have been closed, everything okay? So people are obviously asking, why have you removed Mystic7 and Trainer Tips from YouTube? There's no signs of sexual content at all on the channel, and I have to say, especially both of them. There is no way in hell there will be any content like that on the channel. And Nick is like Mr. Clean Guy himself, Mr. Want to like be politically correct and also fight for what he believes in sort of person. There's no way. And it's just crazy. Wouldn't you think that a channel with 1 million subscribers getting all of a sudden maybe 3 strikes at the same time would basically send alarm bells ringing to Google and to YouTube to try and like get in contact and actually figure out what's going on? That's what I think there should be, some kind of a layer of protection. If you're a channel and you've been clean and there's been nothing going on, no copyright strikes or nothing going on, and all of a sudden you get 3 strikes in one day for whatever reason, I think, and you're a channel of like 1 million subscribers, I think that, you know, that's some serious stuff here. So what else going on here? Trainer tips, your channel. What happened to your channel, RIP? Well, hopefully he will, you know, raise from the dead. But yeah, I wonder what YouTube thinks is inappropriate. I don't know. I really don't know. The entire system is messed up for Mystic7. It was something about sexual content, and yet all his vids were family friendly, just like Trainer Tips. It's true. All the videos are really family friendly. I mean, they are all the time like looking out for the younger generation, the younger people that play. There's no swearing at all on the videos, as far as I'm aware. Anything that's sworn is beeped out anyway. So I don't know what on earth is going on. Other people saying, this has happened to a few YouTubers that I've seen so far. Mystic7 and Trainer Tips both got terminated even though they've done nothing outside the rules. YouTube system is swear word. So yeah, people are really, really interested, you know. What do you guys think? Let's see. In the past, alternative medicine channels have been removed. Well, I know that there are certain rules, you know, I know there's been like new guidelines recently about what you can, what you can't put. Like for example, even like conspiracy videos and stuff like that. Apparently, YouTube will not promote those. I think YouTube has started to stop promoting certain type of content, but not necessarily like not allowing. Obviously, completely like sexual content, they're gonna like outright ban, and they should, definitely. But hey, so let's see. Anybody got any insight, any information? Please leave it in the chat. We're all here, sort of trying to figure out what's going on, all you know, together. So, have you ever had an experience like this? Do you know of any other channels where this has happened? So, somebody, can you explain why Trainer Tips is no longer on YouTube? His enlightened and cinematic videos were an enjoyable part of my family's videos viewing. I was never offended or thought his content pushed any boundaries. Please return his channel, please. Thanks. That somebody, Richard JW on Twitter, and it's very, very true. His content is very good. You know, I'm not a big fan of the way that they're trying to plug PvP and all those caps that they're doing, but you know, overall their content is really, really good. So I really don't know what's going on here. Some more tweets that I'm reading. Obviously, people are very anxious. Hey, Super Brat Browse, how are you doing? Yeah, so here I'm talking about Trainer Tips and Mystic7. They're basically two huge Pokemon Go YouTubers. Trainer Tips has nearly 1 million subscribers, 800,000 subscribers, and Mystic7 has over 1 million, maybe 2 million subscribers. I can't remember exactly. And basically, they've woken up today, a few hours ago, 10 hours ago, to having their channels removed from YouTube due to I don't know what. So I'm just thought I'd do this little live stream talking about what on earth we think might have happened. I really don't know what could have happened. Some theories going out there, bots, you know, people hijacking and hacking their channels. I have a friend, Rena and Matthew. You've probably seen their channels if you follow me. I've met with Rena a few times, but their channel was taken down. It was actually deleted completely. It was somebody hacked into their channels and it got deleted completely. And you know, so these things do happen. Although when you're a small YouTuber like me, if something like that happens, I don't think YouTube is gonna spend a lot of time trying to get to the bottom of it. But we're talking about some huge, huge YouTubers here, so this should not have happened. Like I said before, if you've got a channel with 1 million subscribers or over 1 million subscribers and you've been a clean channel and nothing's ever been, you don't have any copyright strikes or anything like that, and then all of a sudden you get 3 copyright strikes all in one day, all in one go, that should be sending alarm bells to YouTube. You know, YouTube should be thinking there's something strange here. um I don't know. I really, really don't know what's happened here. But please let me know if you think something has happened. What's happened? Well, as I've been repeating, basically there's this if you know Trainer Tips and Mystic7, they are two very big YouTube Pokemon Go YouTube creators. Probably one of the two biggest in the world. They have like Mystic7 has over 1 million and subscribers, and Mystic7 has over 1 million subscribers, and Trainer Tips has nearly 1 million subscribers, and their channels have basically been removed. So yeah, that's what's happened, and we're just chatting here about what could have happened, if there's any updates, etc. So, waking up to find out that the channel has been terminated for violating guidelines and no information beyond that from YouTube. Would be great if someone could tell me what my family-friendly Pokemon channel did wrong. And it's very true. They are very family-friendly channels, you know? So, I really, really don't know. And I'd really appreciate some people, you know, like, letting us know in the chat whether or not you think something that they've done wrong has merited this. Have you watched them before? Do you know who they are? I mean, if I do a little search now on YouTube and I search for Trainer Tips, for example, Trainer Tips. So basically, if I search for Trainer Tips, there is nothing other than somebody else who's done a video like 4 hours ago, and I'm like the third one there. But it's a bit crazy. If you haven't seen my video, Dortmund, the truth about Dortmund, when I went to Dortmund to Safari Zone in Germany to play Pokemon Go, I think something like 50,000 people decided to turn up to play at the event. The telecoms couldn't cope with the amount of people that were playing Pokemon Go, and yeah, it was just absolutely crazy. And I did meet Trainer Tips there very, very briefly. He was doing a sort of meet and greet. I got myself a signed sticker. He was pretty cool guy. down to earth. But also I met Reversal, pretty cool guy also, very down to earth. Pokemon Holly Master, also very, very down to earth, fan person, who was really, really babbly and full of energy. You could just feel the energy bouncing off her, in my opinion. And then more recently, I've also met Tonton Train, which is another YouTuber. I met him in Japan, in Tokyo, last summer, and he's based from Holland, actually, I believe. So, and he's a pretty cool YouTuber, a lot smaller, but he does come out in many of the videos, many of Trainer Tips videos. He's mentioned every now and then, and he's just a cool guy in my opinion. Also really nice. So I really don't know what on earth is going on here. Why on earth have they disappeared? Why YouTube has decided that their channels had to go down? Obviously, there's been some kind of a copyright strike sort of thing. For those of you who don't know, the way the system works is you can get, if you get one copyright strike, then you're kind of okay. After the third copyright strike, your channel is taken down. You can basically fight your cause if you get a copyright strike. If somebody copyright strikes you, then basically you can try and fight it, but it's up to the owner. The person who's claimed has a finally crazy. So if I've made my own music and I've recorded my own song and I've like put it up on YouTube, and somebody decides that, oh, I'm gonna claim that as mine, they can. And when they do claim it, from the moment they claim it, they start collecting the revenue of the ads from that song, which is absolutely crazy. And then you can basically fight it, but they have the final say whether or not they're gonna like let go of the copyright claim. In this case, I don't think it's been copyright claimed. I think it's been probably the algorithm. Something's happened. Something strange has happened with the algorithm, I think, where YouTube has thought that there's some dodgy, some strange, some adult something that shouldn't be their content on their videos. But like I've said multiple times, why on earth, isn't there a system in place for YouTube, especially for the big channels, where YouTube should know that if a channel is clean, if they have a good history, if they've been clean for the past 2 years, if they've not had any copyright claims, if they've had 0 strikes on their channels, and then all of a sudden they get 3 in one day, then YouTube should be flagged up as something strange going on, rather than take down the channel. I think YouTube should be taking down those videos and sending a message to the content creators and having their team investigate what's going on, because it's very, very scary when you are creating content and it's in the hands of a big multinational corporation like Google and YouTube. It's quite scary to think, and I understand why so many YouTubers are branching off from YouTube to do and pursue other things, and it's a pity because after all, you do want to have good content creators on YouTube producing good stuff. You do want people that are going to make stuff with passion. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are starting to move on to other, maybe not necessarily other platforms, but are starting to find different ways of making money. And if they're making money on other sites and with their own merch and their own stuff, then I don't think they're going to put as much effort and as much care into creating the videos that they've always have. And that's the reality of YouTube at the moment. They need to sort this out. They need to find a way of fixing these problems. And at the moment, this is happening more and more often. So what do you think, guys? Do you think I'm right? Do you think YouTube can and should implement different rules? Do you think they should be more transparent and clearer when these things happen, or do you think the system in place is okay? I don't- I think it's nuts. Shouldn't be happening. So I'm just gonna read some more stuff here from Twitter. And like I said, if you guys have any information, please share it with me. I'm gonna probably stay online for another like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But let's see. So yeah, absolutely crazy. And the more people that join, the if you have something to say, please join the conversation, you know. But yeah. So I'm just gonna read some more tweets. Let's see. Some more tweets. And I'm sorry I'm using my phone. I just want to be really quick, so um okay. So any updates? Let's see. Latest updates. I don't think it's a glitch. I think you and train tips were targeted by some hater. Mystic7 tweeted an update. Let's check it out. Mystic7. Hopefully it's good news. Hopefully he's got some more clarification. It's okay. Okay, let's see. All right. 21 minutes ago, it says, as you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Evolving to slacking, the highest CP mon in Pokemon Go history was for review. Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines. How on earth? We've removed it from YouTube and assigned a community guideline strike or temporary penalty on your account. The impact of strikes. This is the first strike applied to your account. And that users seldom intend to violate our policies. That's why strikes don't last forever. This strike will expire in 3 months. However, it's important to remember that additional strikes could prevent you from posting content to YouTube or even lead to your account being terminated. How can you respond? This is YouTube basically sending the message to Mystic7. If you believe this was a mistake, we'd like to hear from you. Please follow both the steps. And it's okay. I earlier got in touch with YouTube Gaming Executive. So sorry, let's read. Somebody just put a little thing here. And sells. He earlier got in touch with YouTube Gaming Executive, after which Lester Chen, head of YouTube Gaming America, asked him via Twitter for direct mail. So something's going on. But I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is, okay, this has happened. Let's sort it. Let's fix it. And let's learn from this. You know, like YouTube should have something in place where if a channel, like it says here, it says very clearly, Foreigner tweeted his update, so they're in contact with him. It's true, they are in contact with him, but what I'm saying here is this, it says here, this is the first strike. Okay, so apparently he's received 2 strikes or 3 strikes in 1 day. And what I'm trying to say here, YouTube, and if you're listening, you probably aren't because I'm not a big enough YouTuber. But what I'm trying to say here is, if it's a channel and it's got a good history and it's never had a copyright strike, and like you've said here, it says this is your first strike, and then all of a sudden, that channel receives multiple strikes all within a few hours, then something has to be wrong. And YouTube, you need to sort this out. You cannot have people relying, or basically you cannot be playing with people's livelihoods and their channels, you know. I mean, this creates a little bit of drama, but hey. So 1 hour ago there was an update. It says logistics update for everyone. What happened is false copyright claims on exactly 3 random videos came in simultaneously and caused the channel to self-terminate. This is obviously a glitch, so don't worry, channels will be back up soon. I appreciate your support. So they've been told, basically, they've been told that it's false copyright claims, and it's actually what I thought it wasn't. Remember, before I was talking about how copyright claiming works, and basically the way it works is if there's anybody, well, not anybody, but these companies, they can basically claim your content as if it was their own. So if somebody claims a copyright claim on content, then you have a choice to either remove the video, to allow the video on there, but then that person will get the basically the money from the video, or alternatively, you can try to fight the cause and say that no, that they're wrong. Unfortunately, the way that the system works at the moment is that somebody that claims a copyright claim on your video will have the final say. So you are saying to them, I disagree with you. That's my video. There is none of your content is on there. But the person that placed a copyright claim, they get a say. They get the last say. They decide whether or not they can drop the claim. And my understanding is that some people have had to get lawyers and stuff like that involved, and it's not really worth it. So a lot of the time, people, they basically take down their videos, but maybe that video has been on there for a day, and that copyright claimant has collected the monies from the ads from that video for that day. So it's absolutely crazy. And my understanding here is that he's got 3 copyright claims on 3 videos, and that is suspicious, and basically they've come in simultaneously and they've caused the channel to self-terminate. So imagine, clean channel, this has obviously been an attack. I mean, definitely, now it's very, very clear that it's been an attack on both Mystic7 and on Trainer Tips, for sure. They've both got, I'm guessing Trainer Tips is also, why not Holly? I have no idea. Maybe she's not big enough yet. I mean, Holly is Holly, and she's great and all that, but maybe she's not big enough. Or maybe the algorithm didn't quite get to her, or I don't know, spoofers, probably, I don't know, there's a few people that I have in mind, but I'm not going to say any names. But yeah, but that's a way that it works at the moment. So it definitely sounds to me like it's some kind of an attack on the channels. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've tried to attack some of the other YouTube channels. I wouldn't be so surprised. Boiled nuts is everywhere, it's true. But I wouldn't be surprised if they've attacked multiple Pokemon Go channels, and unfortunately the YouTube algorithm has basically picked up on theirs. That's probably what's happened. Now, what has to happen here is YouTube needs to severely, and I use the word severely, punish the channels the companies that do all these false copyright claims. It's crazy. I was reading about somebody who got a copyright claim on his freaking voice because he was recording, practicing, like basically testing the microphone, and his voice got copyright claimed. That's crazy. That's really, really, really crazy. Let's see. They need to ban all of them, spoofer YouTuber. It's true, but then again, I agree with you. But that's what YouTube is. YouTube is a platform for, I guess, everyone. And at the end of the day, they're not breaking the law, those spoofer YouTubers. What they're doing is putting out content that goes against the conditions of Niantic, not necessarily the conditions of YouTube. I don't know. Do you guys know anything else about that? About that? But my understanding is that basically, it goes against the terms and conditions YouTube, of Niantic, but not of YouTube. So yeah, Sky is Google, dude. It's getting smarter every day. Well, in this case, dude, it's not smarter. It's it's dumber, because it's done a huge mistake and it's allowed somebody to basically go and copyright strike two huge channels and bring them down at the same time. So no, they're defending Niantic. Sorry, it says no, they're defending Niantic. Maybe. I don't know, it's super complicated, but obviously something that people want to talk about. So what do you guys think? Do you think spoofer channels should be off? By the way, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, because it does really help the video. You give it a thumbs up. And don't forget that if you want to subscribe, if you aren't already subscribed, I do some Pokemon Go content, not all the time, but I do a lot of traveling. I travel around Japan, Europe. I go to Japan very often, and I do, when I'm in Japan, play Pokemon Go. So that may be something that you're interested in. Then definitely thumbs up and definitely subscribe. Yeah. So yeah. So Denzel says Niantic should take down all the YouTubers that spoofers, just like they did FSU ALT. Yes, you're right. But you know the problem with YouTube is that basically somebody will your channel, if you got a channel and somebody takes it down, and then basically you can just create another channel and people will come. It will take its time for YouTube to basically take that channel down again. So you're not allowed to advertise a game in the famous. This includes spoofing. It's in YouTube terms and services. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. But I do want to do a quick update, see what Trainer Tips has to say, because that's Mystic7 basically said that that it was a 3 random videos and it was false copyright claims. And I want to see if there's anything. Yeah, I have to admit, for those of you who do play Pokemon Go like legit, and go out there and do all the miles and all the walking, it really freaking frustrates me when I see a spoofer on, like in a gym, like absolutely crazy. So let's see. What else? Trainer tips. I mean, Trainer tips is being very, very quiet at the moment. He's not really said anything else, has he? Let's check. Okay. So he's being funny, but he's not saying anything. Just fell asleep watching cyberpunk anime, woke up to a reality where algorithms and AI have destroyed my livelihood. Honestly, did my humans review this? Did any humans review this? Or did they just trust the bots on this one? Definitely the bots, definitely, for sure. Um, Trainer tips, why are you so quiet, man? Be a bit more vocal. Yeah, ownership and stuff is getting crazy. Like Virgin tried to copyright the name Virgin. I mean, really, how can you own a word? Whew. So true, so true. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who live in Europe, and I live in Gibraltar, and I'm still part of the European Union, but I don't know for how much longer, because we're part of Britain, and with all Brexit and all that's going to happen, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I know that that basically Europe have these crazy plans of implementing these ridiculously strict rules on Article 13, I think it's called. It's just going to make things so difficult for content creators if it goes through. So, yeah, it's just the bots. They're hunting anyone that says the word Pokemon Go. Probably. Yeah. Word and common phase copywriting. It's really crazy. It is crazy. I mean, there was a time when I think that Pokemon, like the internet, used to be the wild west of the digital age, and people were able to basically more or less do whatever they wanted. But now, laws are changing, things are being regulated, and it's a bit crazy. I don't know what the future of the internet is going to look like, personally. Niantic took down FSU Alt by a copy entity's letter stating he was no longer able to create Pokemon Go content or he would be sued. So that's a great idea. They should do that to all spoofers. I mean, yes, but how many spoofers are there? You know, like it's quite crazy. There's a few gyms around here that are EX raid eligible, and the moment a T5 appears, it's full of spoofers. You know, sometimes two, sometimes three lobbies. We've been to EX raids, and there's just like tons of people, basically spoofers spoofing from God knows where, and it's just really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Are IV checkers cheating? I know. You know what? I think that Niantic, if you're listening to this, you need to just include the freaking IV in the with the Pokemon, because at the end of the day, that's what people want. People don't want to be spending their time checking the IVs. I mean, yeah, you can pretty much check it yourself on like go on a web browser and check the IV of a Pokemon. But why can't you just have like a simple like 5-star sort of graded thing where like a Pokemon could have like 5 stars, and that meaning that it's like a perfect IV or close to perfect, and a 1 star meaning that it's crap, because I'm just fed up of having to go through every single Pokemon, deleting them one by one. And I do use some IV checkers online and stuff like that to check, but not without logging in, because you know you don't want to be like soft banned or whatever. But it's just something that I think people want. Do you guys want that? Would you guys like welcome a like something like that in the game? Would you guys want to have the IV clearly shown? Another thing that I really want in the game is I want to be able to do, I would love to be able to do some mass sending of gifts. Wouldn't it be great if I could just freaking send 10 gifts at the same time? Why can't I just send 10 gifts at the same time, for goodness sake? You know, I've used Pokegenie. Pokegenie is quite good, although it does get it wrong every now and then. But, but yeah. I'm thinking maybe the bots review channels with high subscriptions, and they may have gotten hit with a copyright strike with music used overhead in the background. I don't know. I don't know. But it's kind of mad, you know. The IV thing, people do it. People check IVs. I mean, even when you check it yourself, like manually, you know that people are interested in IVs. So they should definitely just sort it out once and for all, you know? I think. You know. But hey, it says, let's see what people are saying. If they added an IV checker, then they would be making money, and other companies will be taking money from Niantic. I'd have to have you on my 10 or something. I think that what they should do is set up their own IV checkers, and maybe you know, like you can pay a subscription, or you can pay a one-off fee. An Niantic made IV checker. Can't you imagine the amount of money that you would make if there was an IV checker made by Niantic? You know, I would pay for an IV checker, an official IV checker that I could actually, you know, log into officially. Would you pay? Would you guys pay for an official Niantic made IV checker? Because I think that I would. I would definitely pay. The amount of time that I would save from having an IV checker. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it seems like just a little update. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like what's going on here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I make a lot of travel content, Japan content. I travel to Japan very often, and I do play Pokemon every now and then. But we're talking here now about trainer tips and Mystic7 and how their channels have been taken down. And it just seems to be, to summarize a little bit, basically what's happened, or what seems to have happened, is that they had some copyright strikes all of a sudden, all in one day, and the channel has been taken down, and it's been taken care of by YouTube. So their channel should be up pretty soon, I believe. But we're just talking a little bit now. There's a few people on here, and we're just talking a bit more about like I think we should have in the game. Have IV checkers, and what do we think about spoofers? Should spoofers be allowed to have YouTube channels, that kind of thing? And I think that we should definitely have IV checkers should be allowed. Like I said before, I think that maybe YouTube could have, sorry, Niantic could make their own IV checkers, either in a subscription mode or in a one-off payment fee. It would be great if I could just log in. And another thing that I mentioned is I would love to be able to send 10 gifts at one go, because I'm just fed up of sending gifts to people. It takes so long. I understand, opening the gifts individually, but sending them, should be able to send 10 at a time. Let's see what people are saying. Here's a list of all the main YouTuber spoofers. Lifting Zombie, John, Hot News Gamer. Yeah, well, what can we do? I mean, if you go and check out their channels, you're just gonna send, people are just gonna want. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I don't like YouTube spoofers. I don't watch their content. I don't think there's any merit in supporting them. I think we should just ignore those channels. The less that we talk about them, the less like traffic that we're going to be sending in their direction, and that's basically it. Spoofers exist. I think Niantic needs to do something about it. What can we say? It's against Surf Road's laws to disinclude people from tournaments or community days. People, physically, I think that at the end of the day, you need to, if there's an event, people should physically be there, I think. What's better, spoofing or selling Pokemon from 5 accounts? That's another thing, selling Pokemons. It's a bit crazy, really. So yeah, any more updates? Mystic7 seems to be more like up to date with Twitter and stuff, so let's see. Latest. I don't know, man. Guys, it's a bit crazy. Yeah, Pokemon Go should definitely include the IVs, or have a way, an official, proper way of being able to the IVs of a Pokemon, My town's Discord actually said I could not show up for their tournament and used my real name. Why was that, Adventure Griffin? What was the reason behind that? Why did your town's Discord say that you couldn't use your real name? What's the reason behind that? That's a bit strange, in my opinion. Niantic should also create an online mode or a private mode, so we will be able to know when our friends are available online. I think that's something as easy as having like maybe a little green button next to in your list, at least the minimum as a start. A little green button telling you that they're online would be very, very, very beneficial, especially for PvP battles and stuff like that. So I heard spoofers did it, hackers. I wouldn't be surprised. Although you can't just copyright claim something, you need to be a company to copyright claim, and they've been copyright claimed 3 times. They've had 3 strikes, and that's why their channels went down. So it's a little bit more complicated than just a spoofer deciding that they're going to like copyright claim a channel. It just can't be done. They have a lot of beef against me, but they're mad that I took the name Adventure. Why? Why are they mad with the name Adventure? It's a cool name. Well done for taking that name. Yeah. We should, eh? I think we should definitely try to send these things into Niantic. I know Niantic does listen. You can send emails in and they'll send you a nice little email back saying, thank you for your feedback, etc. We might consider this in the future. But so far, none of my suggestions have come true, so yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, people underestimate the community, the Pokemon community. I think at the end of the day, I'm trying to send a tweet. So yeah, at the end of the day, what other ideas, what other things would you like to see on Pokemon Go, guys? Yeah, I think the whole opening of gifts, I understand the 20, there's a little bit of strategy though. When there's 20 gifts that you can open, there's a strategy behind it. You really need to think about what you open, when you open it, and your eggs, etc. So I like the strategy, but I think 20 might be just a little bit too low a number. Maybe they should increase it to 30, something like that to start with. But 20 is definitely not something, not enough, in my opinion. Definitely not enough. So, let's see. If I'm going to try and get a friend of mine who's very vocal about these things on here. James, I'm sending him a message. James, come and chat, because he's very, very vocal. Do you guys use Discord, or do you guys use Telegram, or do you guys use Facebook? I know, we have, we tried Discord, it didn't work for us. And we were pretty much on Facebook Messenger and Facebook for a while. And now, probably for the last 4 or 5 months, we've actually moved on to Telegram, and it's working really well. Yeah. Who do you want to add as a friend? Where are you guys from anyway? Where are you all watching from? If you want to add me as a friend on Pokemon Go, then just go ahead and send me an email, send me a message, and I will share my friend's code. But I won't put it out on here. And let's see. I like to see a sliding scale of power apps that calculate Candy Stardust cost instead of having to press the power up button tons of times to power up a low CP Pokemon. Yeah, that too. India, wow. Oregon, New England. Wow, awesome, man. I'm in Gibraltar. Do you guys know where Gibraltar is? It's a little British overseas territory in the very south tip of Spain. And it's currently nearly 9:20 in the evening, so it's quite crazy. From Sydney, wow. Cool. Yeah, if you guys are ever in the south of Spain, then definitely hit me up, and we can play some Pokemon Go. We use WhatsApp in a smaller city. How small is your city, Anne? Anne Cells? That would be quite cool, no? If Team Rocket had actually hacked them. Yeah, don't forget to thumbs up the video. It does really help, when you give the thumbs up. It's only one click, or thumbs down if you don't like what you're watching. And like I said before, if you're interested in Pokemon Go content, I don't make a lot of Pokemon Go content to be honest, but I travel to Japan quite a lot. A lot of my videos are about Japan content, and when I'm in Japan, I do tend to play Pokemon Go, and I do vlog a little bit about Pokemon Go. I was there for some of the events. I was there for a few community days, and you can check that out on my channel if you're interested. In the summer, it was incredibly hot. I cycled from Germany to Santiago de Compostela once. Wow. So lots of issues with rural players in Spain. Really. I mean, we're very lucky here in Gibraltar in the sense of that we have an excellent community. We are one big, mostly happy family. We help each other quite a lot. Really good place to. The spawns here are incredible. We get really good spawns. Um, it's a great place to play. We have a really fun community. We have some really interesting characters, and we do stick together quite a bit, and we do sort of defend each other. And even though we're in different teams, we kind of coordinate with one another, and it's loads of fun. So we're lucky in that respect. I think in terms of Pokestops and gyms, we could use with some more, but yeah. What's that? Jolta. Jolta is my friend James, and he is probably, in my opinion, my number one player here in Gibraltar. He is one of the most knowledgeable Pokemon people that I know. He is like my Yoda. But yeah, so Jalta, what's your opinion on spoofer YouTubers? Like you people who spoof and have YouTube channels. But we've been talking about that basically. A lot of people here think it shouldn't exist. Have you done any research in this respect? I think some people are saying that it's actually against the terms of service of YouTube. I know it's definitely against the terms of service of Niantic, but is it against the YouTube terms of service? I don't know. So, and hit that like button, James. But yeah, Niantic should also cut down the cost of Stardust to power up Pokemon. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that would be nice. Although I have to say, Denzel, that even though the cost of like powering up a Pokemon can be ridiculous, I think that they do have plenty of events where you can get quite a bit of Stardust. So I don't know. Perhaps. By the way, I got my shiny Miltank today from the box. So I'm really happy about that. It depends what they do with the app. If they are messing around with spawns and catching stuff, then I got no issue. What do you mean by that? If they're messing around with spawns. But when it comes to gyms and messing with the gameplay, then I have an issue. And I have to say that I have a very similar. Thanks. I was so happy. I think it's my third box. So I have to agree with Jalta 100 here, and that is that out of sight, out of mind. If there's a spoofer out there and they're playing the spoofer stuff and they're out of sight, as in they're not getting involved in the gameplay, they're not getting in gyms, they're not chucking you out of gyms, then whatever, you know. But the moment that they start like adding themselves to gyms and adding themselves to and checking you out of gyms and that sort of thing, I have a huge problem with that, you know. So if there's any spoofers in here, you know, just say, cause yeah. Ooh, hold on. Although don't brag about your catches. That can be annoying. I guess, have you not got the shiny Meltan yet, James? Have you not got the shiny Meltan yet? Anne. Anne says, I went to Battle Gym with a Blissey Chansey from a well-known spoofer active in the area last night. It's so freaky, isn't it, when somebody is in there and you know they're a spoofer. I mean, we've started more or less like creating our own private groups now, really, because yeah, somebody was trying to chat with me, but I don't know how this works. Um, who was chatting? I can't chat right now, unfortunately, because I'm live streaming. So yeah. So yeah, a little bit of an update, and I was explaining a little bit how copyright on YouTube works, and basically the way it works. My understanding is, if you put some content on YouTube, then basically somebody, a company, a copyright company, can actually claim that content as theirs, and the moment they claim it, it belongs to them. You have to dispute it, but then the dispute ends up in the hand of the person that made the claim. They decide whether or not to drop the claim, and you have a choice of either allowing the video to stay up, but they get the money, or just taking down the video and you just have to like modify it or whatever. But unfortunately, this can really be used in a malicious way by these companies, because maybe they've been claiming a few days of money, of of ad revenue and stuff like that. So, and my understanding is that Trainer Tips and Mystic7, I think there's definitely been an attack. It's too much of a coincidence for both channels to go down at the same time, pretty much. So that'll be interesting to see what the outcome is, and if they do find out what's happened, or who's done this, if YouTube actually does something about it. I think they should. Adventure Griffin, thanks. I've seen it, but obviously at the moment I can't really access it. So I will add you ASAP. And please, 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 Adventure Griffin, if I do forget, or for whatever reason I don't in the next 24 hours, just send me another message and nudge me a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, guys, what do you think about the Mr. Mime baby? What is it called, Jalta? The Mr. Mime baby. Because that's going to be an interesting one, I think. Mime Junior, that's it. Mime Junior, how are they going to work? How are they going to do this? Any theories? Do you have any theories on how Mime Junior is going to be added to the game? Because with Mr. Mime being a regional in Europe, for Europe, then are we? That thing. It's going to be hell to get a shiny one of those. Well, yeah. But crazy, my question is, do you think it's going to be coming out of eggs the same as the other babies? Or do you think, I don't know, I think they might have to rethink things. Would I be able to send a gift from Europe and somebody in America, I'm Junior, and is that fair? That's a hmm. It says, remember when they didn't did Gen 1 egg thing for regional Pokemon or something like that. Apparently at the beginning, no, you could get some of the regionals in eggs. But I'm just worried, because if you end up sending an egg to somebody and they get Mime Junior, that means that the regional in Europe is kind of, wasted. I have a theory, and another theory could be that they're gonna unlock the regionals. Like they've been regional for quite a while now. It's been like 2 years, and perhaps it's time for them to no longer be regionals and for them to be available everywhere. I don't know. Really. Let's see. No, you could get them out of 7K eggs, or do something like that, or you have to have someone from those send you one. How come you can battle with people across the world, but we trade with people across the world? I don't know. I mean, I think it's sort of to stop. I think there needs to be some sort of interaction. No, that's the whole point of the game, is to be able to like interact with real people, and I think that they've sort of done this so that you can, if you want to trade, you need to see somebody. Okay, to stop the black market. That's very true. Also, I hadn't even thought about that. To stop the black market, because can you imagine if I go on like some kind of website and say, hey, I'll sell you my 100 IV Mewtwo, here, let's trade, and that person is in another country. That is a very valid point. Jolta 100. Very, very true. Yeah, I agree. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button, and let's keep the chat going. It's quite interesting, actually. So, but yeah, the Mime Junior is going to be a very interesting one. I think I've got a feeling that they're going to have to rework the system or think very carefully about how they're going to do this, or else there's going to be a problem. But yeah, so I'm going to do it for another 6 or 7 minutes. That will be an hour and a half, and then I'm going to call it a day. But maybe I should do more like live streams like this. It's been quite a bit of fun. My guess is breeding, like in the main series games. What do you mean by that, though? Adventure Griffin is obviously in the same wavelength as you, James. Jalta. Add breeding. But what do you mean by your guess is breeding? I think that they got banned by Niantic for leaking some news. Well, I was gonna suggest that could have that's, but Niantic cannot ban. Well, you're talking about trainer tips and Mystic7, right? Nabendu, you're talking about Mystic7 and trainer tips. I don't think don't forget, Niantic and YouTube are two separate companies. I don't think Niantic has a power to. Oh, I really don't know. You can breed Pokemon with each other. Let's say breed Dragonite with Ditto. You get a Dratini egg. Okay. I see what you're getting, what you're going with this. They add breeding, and then you'd have to have a Mr. Mime from the beginning. And then that Mr. Mime you would mix with a Ditto to get a Mime Junior. That would be a good way of doing it, yeah? The problem is when we want a specific type of person for a community, but they just put one word into these stupid bots. Yeah, true. But yeah, anyway, so a little chat here about the future of Pokemon, features that we'd want to see. I've mentioned one, which is basically, can we please have, you know, the feature where we can send 10 gifts in one freaking go, once and for all. That would be incredible. I think PvP, even if Niantic came up with their own version of PvP, sorry, not PvP, sorry, IVs checking, it's a bit late. I think that if Niantic had their own IV checker, even if it was a subscription service or a monthly fee or a one-off fee, I think people would be interested in that. I personally think that the stats of the Pokemon should be clearer. I think it's something that people want. People are fed up of having to check the IVs of a Pokemon. So yeah, that's something that I think. Maps. I mean, we've had maps before. I don't know. Yeah, maps would be cool, I guess. But I don't know. I agree with Jalta a little bit that maps made things a little bit too easy. So a little bit. I've got a. It would be cool, but I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe certain Pokemon. I think another thing that would be pretty cool is if we could actually choose the Pokemon that appear in the nearby, because I'm really sick and tired of seeing those Rattatas and Pidgeys in the nearby. People giving third-party companies money instead of Niantic. Well, that's what's happening. Niantic need to up their game, in my opinion, because if they don't, then, you know, I think it's a little bit annoying when they also like shadow ban people because they're basically using a feature that isn't in the game. I don't know, guys. What do you think? So yeah, I think there's a bright future for the game. That's for sure. I'm not very convinced by PvP at the moment. I'm not very convinced by all these like boulder caps, etc. I guess I'm more of a collector, and I'm not very, you know, like Trainer Tips and Mystic7. They're doing a huge like advertisement campaign trying to really push the PvP tournaments. It's not really my thing. I do PvP just so that I can get the rewards at the end of the day. But maybe I think PvP could be improved, could be made a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. But at the moment, it's not just there, and I think that it might have actually arrived a little bit too late. The player base are a little bit more casual with Pokemon Go. Yes, we have the hardcore players like Jolta100, who's a hardcore player, and some other people on the chat for sure. But I think the majority of players are a little bit more like casual, and therefore PvP just came at the wrong time. People are used to playing Pokemon a certain way, and they're gonna have to work really hard with the PvP to convince people to do it. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a big fan of PvP at the moment. There is a big, yeah. Let's see. You had a YouTube channel based around Pokemon Go. Cool. What happened, Adventure Griffin? That's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, my channel is mostly based around travel, and I do play a little bit of Pokemon here and there. So, anyway, I think I'm gonna have to call it a day here. I'm just gonna let Adventure Griffin put the link. But in the meantime, guys, if you wanna keep the conversation going, is Mystic7 and Trainer Tips coming back? Okay, so Tyler Williams, my understanding is that they are coming back. There's been some kind of false copyright claim on their channels, and they should be coming back at some point. They're still investigating. So if you want to have a watch and listen to the whole of this live feed, 1.5 hours that I've done, then, you know, as soon as I finish, you can, within like 20 minutes, you can probably go back and watch it all. And if you want to keep the conversation going, then please do so in the comments below, because there's obviously a lot of really passionate players here with a lot of really good ideas, and it's really cool that we can all come together and basically share these things with one another. So I'm gonna have to call it a night here. It's been a pleasure. It's been really cool meeting all of you guys. And like I said before, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I do a lot of content about Japan, traveling around Japan and that sort of thing. I live in Gibraltar, the very south tip of Europe, and I do some content in this area, and I do play Pokemon Go every now and then. So you will see some Pokemon Go in some of my videos, but it's not my main content. But it's been a pleasure. It's been loads of fun, and let's see what happens. Take care, everybody. Keep the conversation going in the comments below. Bye. How do I end this? I forgot.